The snow fell like glitter in the pale moonlight, drifting lazily down onto the quiet village of Ravenswood. Streets glimmered under the soft glow of lanterns, each flame trembling as if in fear of the biting cold. In the distance, you could hear children laughing, their breath forming little clouds in the frosty air. Families hustled home, arms full of gifts wrapped in festive red and gold paper. It was a perfect Christmas Eve scene. But hidden in the shadows, someone was watching. Her name was Eliza. She appeared without a sound, stepping onto the snowy path with long, slender legs clad in black boots. Her hair was a cascading waterfall of midnight, swaying as if it had a life of its own. And her eyes. Her eyes were like shards of sapphire ice, so piercing and beautiful. They seemed capable of seeing the truth buried deep within the hearts of the living. In this moment, if this were an anime, the camera would linger on her face, the way the moonlight caught the inky strands of her hair, the slight, mysterious curl of her lips, the flicker of deep emotion in her eyes that hinted at a story untold. No one noticed her at first. But as she moved closer, the world itself seemed to hold its breath. Inside the village, the old church bells began their solemn midnight toll. A faint, enigmatic smile touched Eliza's lips. She drifted toward the church, her very presence seeming to bend the light around her, causing shadows to crawl and stretch in her wake. Snowflakes clung to her dark hair, melting into tiny crystal tears that shimmered in the night. The church was warm and glowing, filled with townsfolk singing carols. A massive Christmas tree stood in the center, decorated with ornaments weathered and cracked with age. And there, hanging low among the branches, was a single silver bell, catching the candlelight like a trapped star. Eliza's hand, pale and delicate, reached for it. Ding! The sound echoed through the church, rippling out into the snowy night like a slow-motion effect. All at once, the lanterns outside flickered violently. The shadows lengthened unnaturally. The villagers paused mid-song, their mouths forming silent words of alarm as a sudden, inexplicable chill filled the air. Outside, the gentle snowfall intensified into a swirling blizzard. The wind howled, whipping the snow into patterns that seemed almost deliberate, as if the storm itself was obeying her will. One by one, the villagers' eyes glazed over, their gazes drawn as if hypnotized. They began to move, shuffling out of their homes and toward the church, their boots crunching on the snow, but leaving no footprints behind. Imagine a sweeping camera shot from above, showing the entire village converging toward the center, their shadows stretching like grasping fingers. With every person that drew near, Eliza's eyes glowed brighter. "Remember," she whispered. Her voice was soft, barely a breath, but it carried the weight of centuries. The anime camera would zoom in now, her lips parting slightly, frost forming on her long eyelashes, the reflection of the church's candles dancing in her sapphire eyes. And they did remember. They remembered the little girl they had locked out on a cruel winter night long, long ago. They remembered her desperate knocks at their doors, the pleading look in her eyes, the icy touch of her small fingers that had once clutched at their hearts for help. They remembered their own cruelty, their own fear, their own unforgivable silence. The candles inside the church flickered violently, then one by one they went out, plunging the scene into darkness. The villagers froze in their tracks, their faces locked in masks of dawning horror and suffocating guilt. The screen would fade to white for just a heartbeat, and when the colors returned, the church was empty. The tree had vanished, and the little silver bell lay shattered on the floor, snow settling around its pieces like a tomb. Outside, a fresh blanket of snow covered everything. There were no footprints, no lanterns, no light. Only the wind, carrying the faintest sound of a young girl's singing, a voice that was beautiful, haunting, and impossibly cold. She was back. And every Christmas Eve since, the story begins the same. The village lies under a thick blanket of snow. Children play, blissfully unaware of the shadow that watches them from the tree line. And there, among the falling snowflakes, Eliza walks. Her black hair flows like ink, her blue eyes glow like frozen sapphires, and her smile is at once heartbreaking and terrifying. She has returned to remind the world that some memories are eternal, and some ghosts never ever forgive. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy stories that linger in the shadows, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.